evening. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to the Augustana Chapel and to our event with Achut Deng from South Sudan to South Dakota. My name is Liz Wolf, and I am the president of the All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church here in Sioux Falls. Our minister, Alan Sogstad, read Achut's book, Don't Look Back, and decided that we needed to hear more from her and her incredible journey. We are so excited and honored to have her with us today. First, I'd like to thank the South Dakota Humanities Council for their generous grant and support. Here is the evaluation form we'll need you to fill out. This would not be possible without their backing. I would also like to thank Augustana University, Dr. Mike Mullen, the staff of Augustana, and the African Student Union. We greatly appreciate our partnership for this event and for generously donating this beautiful space. We have 3 other partner groups with us this evening: South Dakota Voices for Peace, LSS Center for New Americans, Translators of Culture. Please feel free to stop by their tables and also the All Souls table to meet their staff and to pick up information on your way out. You will also have an opportunity to purchase Don't Look Back afterwards, and a shoe will be available to sign your copy, and copies are $10. And now Dr. Mike Mullen will say a few words.
Thank you for coming. On this occasion, it is right that we give a land acknowledgement to the people that came before us. Augustana University is located on the ancestral territory of the Sakowin, the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota people. Augustana University and this professor and this faculty member honor that legacy on which we gather tonight. Thank you. To introduce our speaker is a wonderful example of Augustana. She's brilliant. Saida, I'm going to say it wrong. Matidi is going to introduce herself.
It's not about being perfect. It's not about where you end up. There is power in allowing yourself to be known in her. It's owning your unique story and in using your authentic voice. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Saida Majidi, a biology major at Augustana University. This evening, I'm here to introduce one of the most compassionate and empathetic women I have ever known. Through her work, she has proven that if you try, if you truly put effort into the things that matter to you, there is no doubt you can achieve your goal. After reading her book, I realized how much I have changed. I have noticed a whole new personality emerging with me. Her work resonates with everyone. And there is no one who cannot connect with the message of her book. There is much more I could say about her, but time is short, and we want to hear her as well. So ladies and gentlemen, Achut Deng.
It certainly
My name is Achut Deng. I was born in South Sudan. And all of you are wondering, how did you end up here? So before I start my journey from South Sudan to America and to South Dakota and to Sioux Falls, I would love to just thank all of you, Ellen, and all the members from All Soul Church. I appreciate you all for coming for this very important day. Of my life, there are more days that are coming. So as we see there, that was the Deng home that I grew up in. For most of you, or all of you, you think, that's not enough. What was there? What did you enjoy? There are no toilet. There's really nothing. There was no toys for a child to play with. But guess what? There was a lot of art. I was comfortable. That was the life I knew. So I was comfortable with that. And not only was I comfortable, I was happy. I learned so much from a very strong woman, my grandmother. That woman taught me a lot. She told me, Achut, good decision takes time. If you are going to make a decision, and you think it's a decision that will take you somewhere, whether it's a decision for today or tomorrow, my grandmother told me in that hut, good decision takes time. Also, when I was 3, in the Deng family, my name changed all of a sudden. People would start calling me Rachel, including my own mother. And everybody, Rachel, Rachel. I did not understand. It was a very weird name to me. But because I was being pushed, I accepted. Except for one very strong woman. I get my own grandmother. She said, Achut, never forget who you are. Your name is Achut Deng, and never Rachel. And I asked her, why? She said, whoever came to the village and told everybody that when you go and when you go and you want to be baptized, you have to pick a name in the Bible. You will go to heaven. But if you get baptized with your own family name, you will not go to heaven. My grandmother told me, Achut, that's a lie. Going to heaven had nothing to do with the name in the Bible. It's how you behave. It's your act to others. Having love. Be kind to people. That's how you will go to heaven, and not the name in the Bible. And ladies and gentlemen, I learned that as I go, that she was absolutely right. In that hut, my grandmother also taught me the value of a family. What is it to have a family? What is it to have an open heart? Accept people for who they are. My grandmother was a widow. And she ended up raising all of her children alone. Deng family was known because of her. But she was a woman. Other places, other huts around us, were built by men, by two, by couple. But the Deng family was built by a woman. She showed me that, Achut, even though you are a woman, you can move mountains. that woman changed me. And then one day, we were forced to flee our village. And in doing so, it wasn't my choice. It was not my grandmother's choice. When that happened, it happened in the middle of the night. I was scared. I was 6 years old. I didn't know what to say, what to do, what to make out of this. What just happened? There are no light. We are relying on just nothing but stars and the moon. So of course, being 6 years old and you don't know what to do, you don't know what's going on. You were sleeping and all of a sudden you woke up and it's guns shots, people are crying, and cows all over the place. I start being scared. I keep looking back. I keep looking back. Again, my grandmother said, Achut, don't look back. It will slow your steps. Not only did she save me that night, but through my entire life. I keep a lot of praise from her. So don't look back become a thing for me. When I have flashback, whatever comes right there, when things are going back, I choose don't look back. It will slow your steps. So going forward, I learned how to do that. That journey left me at age 6. I was a person that was loved. I had so many people that adore me, that loves me, that I look up to, and left me standing alone. With no explanation. No one can tell me why. But there was no time for why. I had to just keep surviving, keep living the moment. When my grandmother died, she was shot a few days later. Her last word that I can remember was, "You are strong." That was the last word. Sometimes when people ask me, what do you remember? What was the last thing do you remember about your grandmother? It's her blood. It's her blood, that's all I remember. But even when that happened, that woman gave her life for me. She sacrificed her life for me. So I keep doing things so that I can make her proud. I never want her to feel like, was this the reason I took the bullet? I never want her to feel like, to even ask herself that question. After she was killed, I am now alone. I have no place that I can own. I can call a place. I can call my home. Every night, every day, we have to keep moving and have so much fear of what's next, what's going to happen next, where do we sleep? And that is the life of a refugee, for those who don't understand or don't know. As a refugee, during the day, you find places to hide and then sleep. But then at night, that's when you try to walk and find a safe place or move forward to go to the next camp. to try to find safety. And so whatever you have, just like that awesome lady have on her head, that was it. And if it's done, starvation is there now. When it comes to water, that little girl that is standing in those water, those was the water that we had to drink. It wasn't that water. I'm pretty sure a lot of you, including my own children, will say today, Mom, oh no, I can't drink these water at all. They are not healthy. But when the time comes that you have no choice, you drink those water. I had guinea worms. And for those who don't know what that looked like, Google it when you are ready. Don't do it when you're not. They don't look good. Yes, they don't look good. But they are life-threatening. They are very painful. And the cost of it comes from drinking dirty water. I had those. But I was very lucky along the way. I met a very strong woman. My mother, best friend back in the village. This woman, her name is Rob, she never had children of her own. But this woman had a very great heart. She had a good heart. She do believe that giving children, giving another child a chance of life is the only way for her to go to heaven, because somebody did not give her a chance to have her own child, because her husband was deployed and then he was killed. So what made her stronger was to make sure that this other child over here was taken care of. And she took care of me through the guinea worm, through the starvation, even when I'm tired, when I'm giving up, when I said, okay, my parents are no longer here. And she goes, no, wait until somebody tell you a truth. Somebody had to tell me when my husband passed. So if no one comes to you and I, you don't need to believe. So that she gave me that hope on a daily basis, you know. But sometimes when somebody comes to me, it's like, oh my God, are they going to tell me that my family is gone now? It was always an expectation when a random person walked towards me. I had that fear. But as time goes, in Khartoum refugee camp, it was okay. That picture over there, vulture and a little girl, that was taken in 1991. That picture can be me. It could be me. Because that's right around when all the war was going on. It was taken by a gentleman by the name of Kevin, who went to Sudan. He was a journalist, and when he took that picture and showed it to the world, his intention was great. He wanted the world to see. He wanted to bring the attention of what is going on in this other world, that this world doesn't have no idea what's going on. But some people took that so wrong. 3 months later, he killed himself because the world took his message wrong. Why did you care about taking the picture and not taking the girl? That was not Kevin's responsibility. Kevin's responsibility was to get the attention of the world, was to bring the message to the world. And so I do adore for this college. Hopefully there is somebody out there that is studying journalism, because I do adore you. I love what you do. And even the teachers, because there is no journalist without a teacher. So I appreciate you out there. Again, this is Kakuma refugee camp. When I learned my ABCs and my numbers, we had to learn that on the floor, using our hands at first. The ABCD, you use your hands, because we didn't have pencils. We also did not have anything to sit on. When it rained, you sit right on the mud. And when there is no rain and it's hot, you sit on a very heated rock, cooked. But we were determined. We were determined there is a future ahead of us. The first day I went to my class, my teacher said at the end of the day, you need to nurture your mind. Education is good for you if you want a better tomorrow. And I took that to heart. So when my hand hurt, then I can grab a dry stick and use that as a pencil. I still have a bad handwriting, but I did practice. So many other children. Class was about maybe 150, even up to 200 per one teacher. The entire day would go with no water or no food. But we were okay, because when we go home, we have nothing else to do. We just wait until the sun goes down. We wait for death, we wait for food, we wait for water. It was a life of hope. But we still go to church. We did not lose our faith. We go to church. We appreciate God. Those houses over there, I'm pretty sure if one of you go to Kakuma right now, you will say, oh my God, it is too hot. Where is the AC? You will not find that over there. You just wait for the night to come. Kakuma was, and still, full of so many poisons, scorpions, snakes, malaria, which I had in Kakuma. And again, we never lose hope. Kakuma is where I lost the lady who took me from South Sudan across the countries, a dog. And when that happened, I was hurt. I was never mad at God. I was angry at Him. Why did you do that? I start questioning myself. Is this how I'm going to live my life, by myself? Will I ever have a chance to even have someone in my life? It took 4 months for me. I took time. I go and visit her. I took so much abuse. There was so much abuse. And I took it because I wanted to take my time with her, because I never had a chance to grieve with my grandmother. I was just told the grandmother is gone. But I never understand what that meant. She's gone. So, in Kakuma, the biggest thing that I know I took in that place that stuck with me for good is forgiving people. It's peace. When I was in Kakuma refugee camp struggling, there was also Nuer children that was in that camp struggling. There was Nuer orphan in that camp, struggling just like me, because that war turned into tribe to tribe. Deng would go to Nuer, kill the parents. Nuer it became a thing just going back and forth. So in Kakuma, there was children just like myself on the other side that was struggling. I quickly had to learn how to forgive. Because that war did not affect everyone, but all of us as children. So I learned how to let it go, and I look at them like all of us are victims of something that was created without us. I learned that in that place. In 1999, relocation program started. UNHCR and the U.S. decided, hey, we don't think these children or these kids or everyone in Kakuma refugee camp will ever go back to South Sudan. And even if these lost boys go back to South Sudan, there is no guarantee that they will find their families. So let's go ahead and give them a better life. So some of us went to Australia, United States, Canada, and Europe. The process was very, very hard, very intimidating. When that happened to me, when it was my turn to go through the interview, I rehearsed, I practiced, because a lot of people bring the question back to the camp and they said, okay, if you say this, but they say, why do you want to go to America? Just say, hey, I want to become a doctor, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a teacher, a pilot, all kind of great stuff, right? So if you say that, you will have a chance. So of course I took my time. I practiced. And when I was called in the room, the interpreter is there, and the interviewer is there, and he asked me, Achut, I want you to relax, be patient, and then I want you to be honest. And I said, okay. The question was, why do you want to go to America? And right there, I'm sitting like, if I say how I feel, maybe this man is going to think that I'm being ungrateful of what they are doing, what the UN is currently doing to us, or providing to us here in Kakuma refugee camp. And then a part of me was like, but that, if I say what other people did not tell me, that is my truth. I do want to go to America, a place that practices democracy. It's a place that I can go and work so hard and achieve my dreams. My dreams will be up to me. I will have the freedom. The freedom, I don't know what that looks like, but this place will give me a chance to have the freedom. Going to school. This place will give me a chance to enjoy these last years of my childhood. Because I don't know what that looked like to be a kid, to be a child, to just relax and not have to worry about surviving. Not have to worry about what to eat, what to drink, what's going on tomorrow. I wanted those 4 years of my childhood life, I wanted to spend them in a place that I have freedom, in a place that will allow me. So I told the interviewer that I want life. And he looked at me, and I said, oh crap. And I said, and he said, okay, what do you mean by that? He put his pen down and he said, what do you mean by that? Because you are breathing. And I told him, yes, I am breathing, but that's not life. It's hope. Life here in Kakuma refugee camp is hope. We just wait for tomorrow. You wait to bury your friend. You go to school with your classmate, and when you come tomorrow, they are not there. You wait for food. That's hope. You hope to do something tomorrow. That's not life. I want life. And he said, okay, you can go back. Like for real, I thought this is it. Because that was just that one question. And then I was told that there are 15 questions. So when he said, you can go, I knew that was it. Everything was a wrap. So then, there was a board where you have to go and see your name on a daily basis. I found my name there. This man gave me a chance of life without letting me go back for a second or third interview. I was good to go. But now doubt kicked in. Guilt kicked in. If I leave and I don't know where my parents are, will I ever see them? My friends here, I'm going to leave them and I will have this life. They will not have the life. Am I making a good decision? But then at the end of that, I cried, but I did celebrate those tears. I said, I'm tired of being hurt, crying here in Kakuma. I am not giving no more tears to this camp. I am going to restart in the United States. And that was it. I was given a chance to come here. I'm not sure if that is going to play. Let's see. Is it going to play? So this is my first experience at JF Kennedy. Yes, this is my first experience. This experience, you guys, oh my God. I don't know if you guys have ever seen God Must Be Crazy. That movie came out back in 1980s, I think. That was me. I think the entire year, 2001, and even 2002, everything I was doing, I'm like, oh my God, what is this? You know? So that was, it's okay. That was my first experience. I experienced that and I was terrified. I literally went up just like that and all I had on was a sweater and it said UNHCR and then a skirt and an open-toe shoe. So try to imagine that. It was crazy. I start speaking my own dialogue. I start speaking language. I start praying to God right there until I made it up. And other people came through and just pushed me. When I finally reached the top right, they said, okay, you can roll over. So I did. And when I got to the top of that, I saw the snow for the first time. I'm like, oh my God, what is this over here? It was beautiful, but I'm like, where is this coming from? So I stared until the flight was ready. So somebody explained that to me. We took the flight, we went to Houston, Texas. My other experience that was beautiful was the rain. It was raining so hard one day, but the water are nowhere to be seen, like the water not coming up, like the way I'm used to. And so one day my cousin and I, when it was a thunderstorm, it was raining so hard. So him and I were wondering, where are all the water? So we were curious. So him and I, we said, okay, we're going outside. There's something going on. And so we followed where the water was going, and here was the drain. Oh, holy God. I said, what? The drain, this is where the water goes to? Look at God, right? Because in Kakuma refugee camp, even in the village, when it rains, the water just keeps going up. And you just wait until the water goes down and start sleeping. So that was a very new experience for me. And it made me appreciate every single thing about this country. I was excited. But that life turned into a nightmare real quick. That life turned into a nightmare. I got the golden ticket. finally made it to a country that I will practice democracy. I am going to work to achieve everything. But now I don't know how to speak English. So first, when I was introduced in the class in Houston, Texas, the teacher goes, "Oh, student, meet a new student. Her name is Rachel Lowe." And one white boy was sitting right in the front, and he said, "Rachel is a white girl name." And I looked at him. I did understand exactly what he said. He's right. But he got in trouble with the teacher. I swear to you, if I knew how to speak English at that time, I would have said, "Yes, you are right." But I couldn't express how I feel. So that was another one of my firsts. The other one was going shopping. I went to supermarket with my friend, and we picked up all the dog food. And this man saw us in the middle of the aisle, and he goes, "You guys have a lot of dogs." We said, "What?" He said, "You guys have a lot of dogs." We didn't understand that, so he started barking. And now we got it, what? No. Then we barked back. Now it was beautiful. Like the other people that were watching us, they had a lot of fun, but we were like, the three of us was serious about it. Let's bark. That was how we communicated. So then he went to the front and got somebody to take the entire cart back. And then that person took us to the food area. And I think to myself, say to myself, why in the world do America put food and human food and dog food together? And I never have any question, any answer. But now I know. And then, not knowing the language, you just came to a new country where you don't know anybody. You are a child. Somebody stand up tall and start taking advantage of you. Telling you that you don't have the language to say this, and if you do, you will get deported back. We will get deported back. I did not want everybody to go back to Dakota refugee camp. But I did believe him that if I say something with the little English that I have, then it was going to be all 6 of us that will get deported back to Dakota. So I took the abuse. I was silent. If I knew it was just me that was going to get deported, I would have to speak up and say something and go back to Khartoum. Not knowing the language and being a child and being silenced by someone made me feel alone, made me regret the life I asked for. When I was in Khartoum refugee camp, I never felt alone. I was just waiting for them to come whenever. But in Houston, Texas, I hated my life. It was better for me to die. I attempted suicide. Got in the closet. It was 2 things. The first thing that I smelled was my grandmother's blood. I felt her. And I heard somebody whisper, "You are strong." I knew she was there again for me. So I put everything she wanted me to suffer the sexual abuse, the rape. I wanted to go to her. I knew I would stay with her. But when she did that to me, I can't run it right back out and put everything right in place. And I say to myself, I will be 18. I will be an adult. I will be able to take care of myself. Nobody will take that away when I grow up. I take advice. Anywhere I go, I listen. And I try so hard to learn how to speak English. I go above and beyond. I listen to tapes. I listen to music. Anything that would give me a chance to hear some words. When we left Houston, Texas, we went to Pullman, Oregon, and it was still going on until December of 2001. That's when I broke out. That's when I said, okay, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. But when that happened, everybody that was there said, oh, I kind of knew. And that's when I realized that I was the one with the bigger heart. I took the pain because I didn't want everybody to be deported back. But actually, these people kind of knew that I was going through this and nobody said anything. It was hard for me, but it did support me. It gave me the energy to just say, okay, I'm done in this house. So I was placed in a group home from there. And here's the part, when you don't know how to speak English, and you are from another country, you don't have no support system. My case was a police case, but up until today, there's no checkup, there's no update, there was nothing at all. But I learned how to move forward instead of looking back. It did not kill me, so I moved forward. So today people ask me, Achut, where do you find hope? Where do you find hope? I would say finding hope from within. I was raised by a society. I was raised by all of you. It was never a one tribe. It was never a one color of people. I was raised by a society. I took advice from every person. Take it and then I move forward. Finding hope from within, my grandmother, I have to remember every single phrase that she told me. I have to remember all of that. And then a dog telling me, okay, you have to wait until somebody tells me that your parents are no longer here. Do not do the assumption. When there is today, there will always be tomorrow. She's right. So I took that. Mr. Nguyen was a teacher in Kansas City. So when I was removed from the group home in Pullman, Oregon, I went to Kansas City. I was broken into so many pieces. I didn't know who I was. I was always sitting in the back of all of my classes. But one day that teacher, he said, Achut, I have an accent. I'm not from here, I'm from Vietnam. And I'm a teacher. I teach. I say what I have to say because it is important. I want you to speak because what you have to say is also important. Let us hear you. Let the world hear your voice. And come to think about it today, I'm here in front of you. That teacher was not just a teacher. He was there to give children a chance of life as well. He was there to teach them. So I took that from him. And guess what? I feel like he did regret that because I moved from the back to the front and now I'm talking everywhere. I did. But he let me look at life a little different. But I was able to still hide my feeling of what was going on with me. There was another teacher that actually gave me an F because I refused to write a paper. I don't know, maybe the teachers are aware of this, but Hungry Kids from Africa is a video. A lot of teachers show it to children. So on the starving, it's a video of African kids. So we were watching that. I went back to that moment. I literally went back to that moment, and this teacher did not see me. I refused to write my name into that paper because I knew when I start writing, I'm going to write about me. And I was never ready for a story that I'm sitting on. So he gave me an F. Every now and then when I tell my boys, there is no room for a C, they goes, Mom, but you had an F. And I said, okay, my F was never an F for a failure. My F was for a fight. I was a fighter. Finding hope from within. My voice. I tell people it was never a want to have kids. It was a need for me. I had always had a hole inside of me. Can I actually bring up a human being? Can I give a human being life? I never have someone to tell me, okay, I should go to sleep, love you, none of that. And with everything I've been through, I say to myself, I would never find anyone that would love me, that would take me for me. So I say to myself, having children, my own, a human being, will satisfy me, and it did. So having those 3 boys was never a want. It was a need for me. They inspired me every day. They made me see the world different. They are the reason why I am standing in front of you. Because in 2020, I almost died from COVID. And I had the opportunity. Caitlin Dickinson from the New York paper, she interviewed me. And when she called, the interview was almost for Smithfield because there's a lot of refugees and immigrants that work there. And I told her, I am not a spokesperson for that company, but I am a spokesperson for myself. So you can go and make that decision. Do you want to talk to me about me or the company? And she said, okay, I'll call you back. She did call me back with the decision, and she said, okay, I'm curious. How did you get to South Dakota? So we pick it up from there. When that paper go out, a lot of people picked it up, including the Daily Show. So I did about 20 minutes, and you can also look it up with The Daily Show. They asked me, how did you go to South Dakota? How did you come from America? I'm one of the lost girls. There's the lost boys. There are a lot of books about lost boys. But lost girls is very rare. Being silent, not knowing, feeling like no one is going to hear me. Being a woman, about 100 of us, you don't normally hear about the lost girls. But there were lost girls among the lost boys. Some of us went to school, some of us have PhD, but it's very rare to know them. So when that happened, Macmillan, very awesome lady from Macmillan, Molly Alice, was listening to that podcast, and she said, I need to talk to this woman, I need to talk to her. There's a story. So when that was presented to me, would you be willing to put your story out there? I told them to give me 3 weeks to think about it. And so I went back, I looked back, and how I'm doing things currently. My children only know this strong mom that goes to work, and she get up, she pick them up, we go to the YMCA, basketball, from there we go to the gym, when we come home, I sleep. I never have time to myself. I never have 20 minutes to me because of my past. When they say, can we go and have a sleepover? I say the world out there is not safe. Without knowing that world that I was telling them is actually my world. It's my past. So I say to myself, you know what? I want them to know me. I want to be honest and be open to them. I want them to understand my life. I want to break this cycle. There is no way that I live my life without knowing what my parents went through, and now it's going to happen again with my children. I want them to understand me when I do things the way I do. So I said yes. I took them to the laundromat on East 26, and I told them, are you guys okay with me telling you the other part of your mom? And they said, yeah. And Craig right there, he thought I was on drugs. I should have kept it, and be like, yes, your mom is on drugs, but his question was very genuine. So I say, no, I'm not. It's my past. So we picked it up from there. They were okay with it. I was okay with it. I was ready for the world. It took a long time for me to be open. It took a long time for me to be open. But those 3 boys inspired me to feel light, to let it go, to just be proud of who I am, to love myself. They did that to me. So finding hope from within. I find it from me. When I finally said, okay, this book is going to go out there, they're coming up with a title, Don't Look Back, I did question myself, oh my God, am I going to disappoint my own grandmother because now I am actually looking back? But I had to say, you know what? I am going to look back, and she should embrace me. She should be proud of me. This is the story, and I refuse to look back for a reason. I was afraid. I was nervous of being judged. But now, I have to admit, I have to own that I know I have a problem. I have a PTSD. There are some moments that I don't feel comfortable. When somebody come behind me unannounced, I would slap them, But that's fear. It's not that they did something wrong. When I'm driving, I'm feeling like, okay, everybody is a terrorist. I want to feel comfortable so I don't feel like I'm disrespecting her. I just want to be me. So I say, don't look back into the name. Let your past go. And especially for me, everything that had happened to me, I was a child. So how can I dwell on that? How can I just be angry with that? I mean, think about it. At 6 years old, and then at 17, at 16, going through the sex, I did not have the power. Best believe, after I turned 18 to today, no one tried. No one tried to abuse me. Because I'm grown, and I know the difference. And no one can silence me. I do have a voice. I learned to love myself. Finding hope from within. I wanted to be open with me. I wanted to start healing me. And to heal yourself, it takes a long time, if not a lifetime. And I wanted to start that before I am, no offense, before I'm 70 or 80. I don't want that. I want to start now so I can start feeling like, so that I can grow up with my kids with no secrets. I wanted to put my story out there to the world, to all of you. And if there is ever a person that feel like I'm alone in this world, there's nothing I can do. I think it would be better for me to just give up. This was done to me. It's impossible for anyone to love me. If there is someone out there and they hear my story and they see my life and how it has been and how I create a safe place for myself. I came with nothing. Slippers. Today I have a car and I have a house. I worked so hard with all of that back of my mind. The life I regret, the life I asked for, I regret that. I wanted to take my life away. But I did reach my adulthood and I want to work and no one is going to stop me. I live my life moment to moment. All of you have plans, short-term goals and long-term goals. I do things as I go. This is a great moment right here for me. My children have dreams and goals, and I love that because they did not have my life. So they are living their own life. They want to do this in 2 years. They want to do this in 4 years. I love it. But my life is a moment to moment. It's to enjoy this thing right here. Worry about tomorrow. I can't worry about tomorrow. I will get there and we will figure out how that tomorrow look like. But I know what today look like. So my life is moment to moment, and that's about it. So ladies and gentlemen, finding hope from within. I will close this. I will close it with this. Last week I was at the hospital. I had stroke symptoms. I was paralyzed on one side, on my right side. Couldn't walk on my own. Couldn't talk. Brianna is over here. She's my agent. She said, Achut, I will call Ellen so that we can cancel this. And I say, don't do that to me. Don't touch it. This is what motivates me. This is my energy. This is how I live life. This thing called stroke is not going to win. I am going to win. She She said, okay. I said, you're not doing that. And even right now when I'm talking to you, I swear to you, there's people over here, there's a lot of people on this side, because I can't see on my right. But again, that hope. Inspire yourself. Take that power. Know that you're going to be okay. I know that death did visit me, but guess what? I got out of it with God, with friends, with people. So I was never going to miss this moment because of what happened to me. So with this event tonight, I know a lot of you have books. I have to tell you this. I'm going to try, but my right hand, I don't have all the strength. I can probably sign one or two books and have to wait. There are so many events coming, and so if you want to make an appointment with Brianna for a book signing, I will be open to that. I wanted to let you know so that when I start signing book and my hand is shaking, I don't want anyone to say, oh my God, is she on drugs? I don't want that to happen. So I wanted you to know that there's something going on. I appreciate all of you. And love, strength is bigger than anything. Embrace yourself.
Now my question for you, Ms. Achut, is how did you learn to grow past a resentment for not really having a place you could call home? Like, for example, during breaks, I have no place to go, so I stay on campus. I see other students going back, packing their stuff, and going home. and there's a sort of feeling you have when you see people who are able to go home and you're not able to go home. So did you have any sort of resentment for not being able to have a place you could call home or a place you could go back to?
I appreciate you for that question. Yeah, and keep up with your school. There is this thing that I have in mind, and I want you to also take it. It might sound like a bad advice, but a revenge for you to do a revenge to somebody that don't believe whatever you are doing, and you know you have so much. You said, okay, I'm angry, this person doesn't believe in me. You know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be great. I do that on a daily basis. But guess what? Everybody wins. You win, you are now doing things that a great human being is doing. My culture is a human culture. It's not white, it's not black, it's not Nigerian, it's not Sudanese, it's doing good. So, coming up again, I was here in a country that I don't know anybody. But I made that moment. I'm going to be here. Tomorrow comes, I'm going to school. When I graduated high school, my GPA, I think it was point something. You know? But I did try, and everybody seen that in me, that I was trying. I never give up. So, to feel like that, of course you are human, you are going to feel like that. And the education system is, I feel like it's like that in the entire country of Africa. So, you have the opportunity here. I would say, take it. There's going to be some days that you feel alone. Nobody's here for you. But what you are doing here today, it will open up a lot of doors tomorrow. So, tears of pain is this small. And happiness is so big. So it's okay to feel alone in that moment. But just know, there's going to be some days that you are going to be out of this campus and walk out there as a proud young lady with your own life.
My name is Nomal, and I'm an international student from South Sudan. And I kind of relate to your story in the sense that my family also went through a civil war, but it was a civil war for South Sudan that happened in 2013. I was still a child when that happened. I was like 10, and my parents went through the civil war. And during the civil war, when the war broke out, my family was in Juba, which is the capital of South Sudan. So the army raided my parents' house, and it got violent. People showed up the house, and then they took my mom, my mother, and my dad hostage in the president's house. And they stayed there for like a couple of days, and then after that, they went to a refugee camp. And my dad stayed there for like 2 months. And my brother and my mom were sent to Kenya after a few days. And then my question to you would be, since you highlighted the sense of community when you were in Kakuma, the refugee camp, my question would be, how did you build a sense of community and support despite desperate conditions? And what gave you strength during the toughest moments in camp?
So, my friend and I, we feel, this is hot in Ghana. We will go to church again. That was another thing that motivated me. And then, I don't know if any of you guys know it, but I'm going to say the way I know it because I was told recently that some people feel some type of way. But Monkey in the Middle, that was a great game. I love it. I still play it with my kids. That was one of the games that I used to do, but what really kept me going was faith, forgiveness, enjoying that little moment. And then when tomorrow comes for me, still enjoying that. But forgiveness was my biggest thing, because I knew, like yourself as a child, you were here. There are some other children right now that are still in Dakota refugee camp that are going through the same struggle. They don't deserve that. It totally had nothing to do with them. But they become the victims. So what do you do about that? You don't. But when you come to a certain age or when you start fighting for your life, there's nothing you can do but to just have hope. Just have hope. When there is today, there will always be tomorrow. And the politics and everything that is going on in South Sudan, I feel like if there is anyone that is going to change that, it is your generation. It is my children's generation. Because for you guys, you are going to grow up without, saying, oh, this tribe, and all of that. You guys will have more understanding of what unity is, being together. So I would say, you being here, that's a great opportunity. That's a great opportunity. Have hope and go forward. And that's what I do. When I go to sleep with no food, I'll find food tomorrow. Even though I know where this is going to come. But I just push myself instead of giving up.
Hello, my name is Dakota. I'm sorry if I sound a little emotional as well. I'm also East African. I'm the ASU president. I take a lot of pride in being African, but I also know that our region, there's always a lot going on, and sometimes it's hard to have pride, and it's hard to want to even reconnect with your culture. At least being an immigrant too, have to kind of assimilate and understand my new reality as well as keep in touch with what makes me unique. So my question is, when you first arrived to the U.S., as well as now, how did you navigate cultural differences while trying to preserve your identity? Was there anything that helped you feel a little less isolated? I know you came from other people and there was also somewhat sense of a community that you can
Thank you so much. I'm also proud of you. Such a privilege. I met the president. That's also a story, a very important story. You have a story and your own stories also matters. So coming to your question, when I came here again, I came with a group that I thought they would take care of me, but I was a young girl. That group was not what I thought it was. Again, I stand alone in the world. But I knew who I was. I still remember what my grandmother said when my name changed. Never forget who you are. So anytime I feel like I'm going left, no, never forget who you are. There are moments that people start judging me when I'm doing things or when I refuse to do things that my community as a Sudanese community think that I should do, but I say no, then it's like Achut become Americanized. Achut is black on the outside and white on the inside. I say, you know what? I work 2 jobs to be American citizen. That is right. I am presenting 2 countries. I am Sudanese American and I'm proud. There are some of the cultures, there are some of the things in my own culture that I still kept. that I know they are going to benefit me. There are also some of the American cultures that I took. And I know both of these cultures that I took, the good and the good, when I combine those, I go forward. I did struggle with, putting my foot down and say, you know what, I don't want this kind of friends. I don't want to be friends with the Sudanese. I was judged. So it was hard for me to say, you know what, all of us who went through this struggle, all of us we are all traumatized. And I want to live life a little different. I recognize that I do have PTSD, and all of us have that. So how do I find that? How do I find myself? So when I kind of like left the group I was friends with, then I was also judged. But I didn't take that. I was proud of myself, and still is. So that's what I would say. Surround yourself with a good village. Have a village that see you for who you are. And it's okay to get judged. Jesus, a lot of people still judge him. And he's a great person.
Thank you for those wonderful questions and for your wonderful answers, Achut. I'm Alan Sogsted, the minister of All Souls Church. If you see something that looks like an All Souls name tag, please say something to that person. I want to thank all of you for attending tonight, and you can purchase a copy of the book on your way out if you'd like, and also get Achut's signature for as long as her writing hand will hold up. And speaking of writing, we need you to fill out the evaluation form from the Humanities Council. So the Humanities Council is what made this event possible, and so we want to fulfill our commitment to them by having you fill out the forms. And you can simply leave them on the seat by the aisle, just pass them in or put them down as you leave. On the seat by the aisle, and then we'll pick them up later. We don't have to carry them out. And sincere thanks to Mike Mullins from the History Department of Augustana University for all of the help and consultation for this event. Thanks to all of you for attending and for being a respectful and attentive audience. And special thanks to the university for donating everything, the space, the sound equipment, the staff time, the refreshments, which you're welcome to on your way out. The university has been very generous to make this possible, and we're very grateful to Augustana University. And finally, a huge thanks to Achut Deng for sharing your story and letting here in person with us. Such great humility and sincerity and courage. You have deeply touched us all. Thank you again.